مشاري.
أنا بعيد. طيب, بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this session, Transformation, Digitalization in the Gulf region. My name is AbdelElah Saati. I was the Dean of a College of Business at King Abdulaziz University, Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. I'm a member of the Legislative Council, AlShoura Council in Saudi Arabia. It's my pleasure to be the moderator of this session. And before I go any further, I would like to extend deep thanks to Mr. Saat Al-Tami, the president of Al-Diwan, and to Al-Ustada Diya Al-Uthman, the chairwoman of the organizing committee, for their great efforts, and extend the thanks to anyone or everyone participated in the organization of this wonderful conference, this fruitful conference. As we all know, the Gulf region has witnessed a rapid, swift, tremendous digital transformation over the past decade, driven by several factors, including government initiatives, including economic diversification efforts, and young and tech-savvy population. This digital transformation has touched every aspect of life in the Gulf region, from healthcare to education to energy to banking, to every aspect of life, in fact. One of the key drivers of digitalization in the Gulf region is the Vision 2030 initiatives, which aimed at reducing dependency on oil and fostering a knowledge-based economy. This led to significant and huge investment in technology, infrastructure, and innovation, paved the way for more digitally driven society. However, with this revolution, or digital revolution, let me say, the increasing importance of cybersecurity became about as the risk of cyber threats and attacks also grows. There is no doubt that ensuring robust cybersecurity measures is crucial to safeguarding sensitive data, to protect infrastructure, critical infrastructure, and also to maintain trust in digital services. Moreover, with the rise of technologies, of new trends and new technologies like AI, or IoT, or cloud computing, the attack surface of cyber threats is expanding rapidly. Therefore, we are in need for a proactive approach to tackle such threats. To talk about and discuss, elaborate about all of this, it's my pleasure to introduce distinguished guests and experts in the field. I will start with Dr. Reem. Dr. Reem, Faraj Al-Shammari is a well-known leader in cybersecurity and technology in the energy sector in Kuwait. She is the chairperson and co-founder of Women in Cybersecurity Middle East. Dr. Reem recently won the Cybersecurity Woman of the Arab World. So it's an excellence award in addition to many recognitions, and we have to congratulate her. Academically, Dr. Reem has a PhD in quality management operations in oil sector. Mr. AbdelElah is CEO of one of the largest bank in Kuwait. He has over 35 years of banking experience. And he was responsible for building multiple business and support groups from ground up. Dr. Meshari is actually Meshari AlFawzan, is a managing partner and the medical director of at Crown Dental Center in Kuwait. Dr. AlFawzan is a consultant orthodontist and graduated with master's degree in orthodontic from the University College London. He obtained membership of orthodontics from Royal College of Surgeons in England. Let's start and move on by asking, let me start with banking. Mr. AbdelElah, as a leader in banking with 35 years experience in banking, can you please talk to us about the journey of digital transformation in banking?
Thank you, Doctor. First of all, I would like to thank the organizers for such an incredible event. I think we need to work on getting more people on the last day. This is the last day, so we need to work with them on getting more people. But I think next time, don't put me with 3 doctors. I think it's putting a lot of pressure on me. I think I need to stay in Harvard to take a PhD like you guys. So, yeah, so digital and banking. I think in financial services and in banking, we've always been known as using technology, regardless of the name. So previously, it used to be a computer department. At the old age, maybe the young people here don't remember this. And then it moved to IT or information technology, and now it's called digital. At the end of the day, it's using technology to run the bank and serve the clients. So in the last, let's say, 10 years, the digital transformation happens. First of all, actually, we as bankers did not understand it because consultants and experts started to talk about digital transformation. And for us, we're saying, what's the difference between technology and digital? Apparently, they're 2 different things. So technology is running the bank and making sure that all the engines are working. Digital transformation is changing how the banks operate and how the customers are being faced and serviced. And it took us a long time to start to understand this, and the new even language that is being used in digital. And the software people are used to agile, squads, scrum, whatever, and all those terminologies. And now we as bankers, and this is how to tell you how the time is changing. We as bankers now started to talk the same language by saying, okay, what is the mobile squad doing? What is the automation squad is doing? When is the next sprint? So this is how the digital transformation happened in banking. For us in Bobyan, I'll give you an example. I'm talking now, I'm not talking in the capacity of Bobyan Bank, but I'm talking about digital transformation in Kuwait financial services. But because I'm in Bobyan, I'll give you an example. 10 years ago, this bank, Bobyan, was less than 5% market share, and the 9th bank in Kuwait. We have 10 banks in Kuwait, and it was the 9th bank in Kuwait. Digital was not introduced by design. It was a result of the bank's desire to perfect customer experience. And that's the motto of the bank, which we call it from Al-Hadith Sharif, نعمل بإتقان, or perfection. So our motto or our slogan is نعمل بإتقان, it's towards perfection. So perfection was leading us to get into the digital journey and get into the digitalization to make sure that we offer the perfect experience to clients. Myself, I am not a technical person, I'm a business person, but I have a lot of interest in technology. So I think that was a good combination when I started to talk to technical people and technology people and digital people from business point of view. And I understand technology, but I'm not a practitioner, but I understand technology and the impact of technology on the customer experience. And this is where the whole journey started. Before anyone else in Kuwait, we started what we call a digital factory, and we started to put those squads and tribes, and we started to put automation inside the bank's processes, and started the mobile banking application, the first chatbot in Kuwait based on AI, and that was before AI was ever known. That was in 2015-16, right? Move forward 10 years ago, we used to be less than 5% market share, and we are the 9th bank. Today, we are more than 25% market share, and we are the 3rd bank in Kuwait after the 2 giants. There we have 2 big groups, 2 giants, and we are now the 3rd bank. So this is the impact of digital. When we say digital transformation, and if you use it to improve the customer experience, then this is the result. I mean, the intention was not a commercial result, but at the end of the day, now we have moved forward in a span of 10 years, and this is in the age and the experience of banks. You cannot move from a 9th bank and less than 5% market share in less than 10 years to be the 3rd bank amongst a very competitive market and a small market, with 2 big giants. So this is how digital transformation is being used in banking and in financial services.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Meshari, healthcare service is the most expensive kind of service and most progressive sector. How do you describe the digital transformation in healthcare?
First of all, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Thank you for inviting me in this panel. I think I am humbled to be with great-minded people and leading people in their fields. And I think confirming what Mr. AbdelElah is talking, I am actually a client of Bobyan Banking, and I can admit that this transformation in the digital aspect of Bobyan Bank made me really appreciate being a user of that bank. The app, the chatbot that you can ask him anything, it's actually a great tool to use. And I don't know if he knows that because he sent us a message just a few minutes ago from their digital banking, a text message we received to join their event. So I think it is absolutely making a difference in the user's life. From the aspect of the healthcare, I think digitizing is coming anyway. What we did, and I think that's why I'm invited here in this panel, is that we are digitizing everything in the clinic with collaborating with Align Technology, an American-based company that made us now the experience of the patients in the past used to be all paperwork, and whenever they walks in the clinic, all of the things, testing, the examination, is all done manually, let's say. Nowadays, in less than 5 minutes, the patient walks in the clinic, they can see their smile, how is it gonna be, even when they are in the reception. They scan a barcode, they can see their teeth, how they are now, and using AI, how is it gonna look like with the app used by Align Technology. And then the moment they walk in the clinic, before I even enter the clinic, we take a scan, a 3D scan of the smile. And I think this is a fantastic thing because the patient I get fascinated. So imagine how the patient feels about it. They can see their smile in the computer, and they can see a simulation of how this smile is gonna be in a 3D show. And then when I come in to sit in the clinic and see it in the computer, I'm actually showing the patient his mouth in the screen. I can check the health of the teeth, the health of the gum, if there is any disease, decay or anything, all in that software. And they didn't stop there, actually. It went moreover to do the simulation on the face as well. So they can actually see their face with the new smile. How is it gonna look like? And they didn't stop there. They actually said, you know what, we will make it with a video. So nowadays, it's actually a video simulation where they can move and talk, and the same video with the old smile, with the new smile. So I think this sort of made a huge difference in the market, and it is why it's, as you said, maybe it's an expensive thing, but I think it's all down to the benefit of the clients or the patients.
And I can confirm that. I'm a client of his as well, and I can confirm that the experience, everyone knows that going to the dentist is the worst experience, with all due respect. But now I think with technology, again, in the healthcare, they have changed this. I mean, the experience there, he has a barista sitting in his clinic serving coffee for people before they get into the doctor. So this is the experience you have. It's in the beach, and you can see the seaside. And as he said, the technology used makes you feel very comfortable getting into a dentist clinic, and you're happy with the result at the end. So this is confirming how things are being transformed across the industries.
So you confirm for him, and he confirms for you.
Conflict of interest. But we all...
Cooperation.
We need the help of Dr. Reem because we got a breach, a cybersecurity breach. And that's, honestly speaking, we got this in the clinic. So I think this is a penalty of digitizing. Yeah. And all the system is now, the booking is online. We went full-fledged forward for the digitization. So as a byproduct, or we need people like Dr. Reem. And that's, honestly speaking, this is what happened to us.
So, Doctor, don't worry. They are confirming each other. So we're going to confirm because Dr. Meshari has incentivized us to do and perform very excellent in this panel, and he will give us very excellent and platinum services, right, Doctor? We're very much excited to confirm what you both has confirmed
Absolutely.
to each other. With looking at what you have both shared and very quickly, having it from the energy sector, knowing that I'm representing here Kuwait Oil Company, and noting that Kuwait Oil Company contributes to more than 93% of our national income, it's a must for us to have the digital transformation, and we've been doing it for the past 40 years. So although it's now becoming a buzzword recently, but we have been doing it very much in the early 80s and late 70s, because we need, although we don't have customers or commercializing it, but we need to empower our operations, digitalize them, reduce the human error, because any error can cost us a lot, whether it was from production or from the financial aspects. And since you have both shared a brilliant and amazing stories on these transformation, allow me to brag about how we have started also the transformation at the very early 2003, 2004, maybe from my personal contribution, when I was just newly appointed 2 years old. My senior, Mohammed Khadad, Allah yadhkar bikhair, has asked me to develop a solution for our CEO. who was, like Mr. AbdelElah, a very tech advocate. He's always going to the fields and all of that. He wants to check his emails and be connected through the mobiles because of his regularity, contacts and communications. But he loves being in the fields. And again, he reminds me with Dr. Fayyad, Majid al-Fayyadi, when he said that he loved being clinical, but being in management took him away. But he, again, understood that being in management enabled him to serve more patients. Going back to Al-Arbid, who was our CEO at that time. So what we have done, and again, thinking out of the box, back at the early 2000s, and from a 2-year-old employee. So we went through the market. We found, I will not mention the brands, but we found a jacket that have wireless services with SIM cards, and we got one of the pocket PCs at that time that was branding. We combined them together, and we got our CEO an iPhone back at the age, but it wasn't yet an iPhone. And he was able to check all his laptop, all his softwares, emails, contacts, SMSs through one device. So I'm not raising any sue on, or I'm not suing Apple for taking our IP, but we did it also first in the 2001 from 2 years employee. So that's just a nutshell of the very huge and crucial initiatives that we have initiated in the oil sector and energy sector. Transformation is a must. It's not a luxury for us in Kuwait Oil Company. And we need, as my two sirs and doctor has mentioned, we need to get the blessing from the user. If he's not very much well satisfied from the solution that we're providing, then it's a failure for us. Transformation has been there, it has been booming, and we're being also encapsulating the AI, the emerging technologies as we speak, as we talk, because as KOC and our oil sector seeks the operational excellence and to be always recognized among the peers in global level, that also comes within the DNA of us, and that's why we have been doing it 40 years and still doing it more.
Okay, thank you. Mr. AbdelElah, I don't want anyone to know how much I have in my bank account. And I don't think anyone here in the audience want that either. I don't want anyone to know about my financial transaction. And I don't think anyone here in the audience either. How can you make sure that the financial information of your customer is safeguarded, is protected?
Good question, and I think this is banks are made to keep things secret and to safeguard everyone's wealth, and it's getting tougher and tougher, to be honest. It's getting very difficult now. With everything that you do good comes something bad. So with the digital transformation and all what's happening today, and with a click of a button, you can transfer money, you can access your account, you can trade online and buy and sell everything, comes the risks of this transformation. And we have to make sure that we equip everything that we do with the highest level of security. Going back to the digital transformation and the new era and what we call the squads and the tribes, now the squad is a team of people who develop new digital products and new digital services. And it has a product owner, a developer, a tester, and so on. And then within that squad and within that tribe, there is a security person embedded, and there is a compliance person embedded. So the squad has all the concerned people sitting on the table, and when they design a service, when they design a product, they'll have to ensure that it ticks all the boxes. So the customer experience is the utmost requirement, but at the end of the day, this is not on the cost of security, not on the cost of breaching any regulations or so on. So this is the beauty of the new digital transformation way of doing things. Previously, in the computer time or in the information technology, the business requests a service, then it goes to a technology person to develop it, then it goes to someone to test it, and so on. Now, everybody sits on the table, and we have security experts sitting with the people who are designing the service and creating it to ensure that everything is secured. And with the help of people like Dr. Reem and the community of cybersecurity, because at the end of the day, as you mentioned, Doctor, and this is what keeps us awake at night. Previously, bankers used to be aware or afraid of losing a loan, or a loan goes bad, or breaking into a bank branch and opening the vault or opening the safety and steal the money. Now, this is not the case. The case is that you wake up in the morning and there is a small Trojan or virus or someone who, with ignorance, let this body comes into the bank system and then puts the whole bank on hold or puts the money or the customer information at risk. And this is the big concern now. So we are balancing this. We are making sure, obviously, the regulators has issued a lot of regulations to ensure that banks and financial institutions abide with the risk requirements. And we have the experts who can help us to make sure that we provide a nice product, customer experience, and so on, but at the same day or at the same time, it has all the security features.
Thank you. Dr. Meshari, I don't want anybody to know that I've gone through a surgery or a procedure. I don't want anyone to have the information from my medical record. How would you make sure that my information, customer information, is protected? How do you make sure about that?
This is a tough question for me. I'm more of a technical guy in the medical field, but I have to say that we had incidents.
But you are a CEO.
I am the brother of the CEO, the managing partner. And
okay.
The structure of the organization is quite complicated. It will take all the panel time to explain it. But I would say that personally, we had this incident. We're a relatively small business organization. But in the technical side, we are one of the leading clinics. We had this problem because of the digitization. As Mr. AbdelElah was saying, it's the collateral damage. When you want to present something, you'll have other aspects that haunt you. And this is what happened. We opened the online booking system, and it was a huge thing for us and for our patients, that they can do all their booking online, live booking. Changes, everything, and we're working on actually creating profile as all the details saved in this profile. From the moment we started, we had a breach one night, and luckily we had a scheduled saving of the data, so we had to stop everything and close that server. And at that moment, it's actually, there's always a benefit of these incidents, because we realize that we need not only, because we have an IT team in the house, but we need to do a contract with a third party. And I think even for small organizations, because in the past it was only for big organizations like banks and stuff that they get attacked by cyber attacks. But for us, we start to be a target for these. Not only maybe only for the medical records. So we are in a process of signing. We had a relationship resources to do that security, but we are actually doing it with a third party. And I think in the future, it's going to be probably legislated to be a must and requirements for even small organizations to have a third party that can take care of this medical records, but also dealing with big companies like our relationship with Align. All the things that we have forth and back is saved, but the local things, no need the expert of Dr. Reem.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Reem, as a distinguished expert how do you think we can maintain trust in digital services?
I'll answer that question, please allow me, Doctor, by reflecting on the answers of my colleagues here. So when Mr. AbdelElah, when Mr. AbdelElah here has mentioned about he is having a security member in the squad, actually what we call it here in our cybersecurity term, involving security as stage 0 or security by design. And that's a huge step that is actually making our life easier. And most of the projects, they come to us towards the end of the project and say, hey guys, we have a project, go and check its security. And then when we do our homework, which we have a defined SLA for that in any type of operations, and I'm talking here with the capacity of any cybersecurity team, so may God be with them. When they do their capacity, they do have an SLA of days. But for some reason, we become the showstoppers because the project is almost over, everything is fine. They need to go lunch and live. Security team is still doing their homework. So calls comes from the top. Why are you holding them down? Yeah, come on, guys. They came to us at the last minute. So with what you're doing, Mr. AbdelElah, you're making our life easier by having them at stage 0 or by design. So that's something that can actually enable the digitalization and enable us to make these digitalization. It's not wrong to go digitalization. It's very much required, otherwise we'll die. And this is what the current digital era is. And again, we are here not only as cyber defenders, we have 2 hats in cybersecurity. We have the hat of a cybersecurity defender, and we have the business partner and the business enabler. And we need to balance between them both all the time. So we build business partnership with our business users. We let them know that we are their security guards, we are your private guards, your bodyguards for your solution and your services in order for it to be a success story and to be digitalizing it towards the success. And now reflecting on Dr. Meshari's incident, which you have, although you did mention that you're a small entity, but you did show the resilience when you said that we did have our regular backups and savings. Today, in our, again, cybersecurity community, we don't discuss the matter of will we be attacked or not. That's something, as even Dr. Kuwaiti yesterday in his FireSide chat mentioned, when we're being targeted by nation-state entities, then we're going to be compromised, or we're going to be attacked. It's not a matter of when we'll be attacked. It's a matter how resilient are we when we are being attacked. So when we talk about resilience, Dr. Meshari has shared a portion of that resilience, which is having your regular data backed up, having your operations being tested, during scheduled shutdowns or even hidden shutdowns, and see how your team will be working and picking up your business back to operations. The magic here and the resilience in cyber resilience and having a cyber power for any entities or a nation is how fast they can recover to their operations with the minimum damage and having their operations up and running with the least duration. So that's a cyber resilience, which we're calling it as business continuity management, enterprise risk management. All of these falls into that. So, Doctor, in a nutshell, cybersecurity is not a magic. It's not a black magic. It's actually a practice that can be embodied by leaders, can be sponsored by them, and can be partnered with the users and the business users in order for us to walk towards that digital journey in a proper, safe manner where we are not the showstopper. We are here the enablers, we are here the business partners, and we are here as the bodyguards for your financial information not to be leaked or compromised.
Do you think we have cybersecurity measures that can address the evolving threat?
I think Dr. Reem
attacks in the Gulf region?
Yeah. I believe the measures are there, but however, again, they are constantly being updated. As you have mentioned at the beginning, that the threat landscape is being evolving and being changed, in comparison or adapting to the digital evolutions. So the measures are there, but it requires constant, updates and, reassessing and reviewing.
Can you reflect with a mix of industry and community perspective?
So when we talk about these measures, and then regulators, for instance, when we have these old regulators that have these, ancient or let's say outdated or obsolete clauses or regulations, now to adapt to the evolving of the regulations or the evolving of technology, these regulators need to reassess and update these frameworks, update these regulations in order for them to cope up with these evolutions. From the community perspectives, as we are talking on subject matter experts, they are contributing heavily to these regulators, to these body frameworks in order for them to update and to ensure that these frameworks and these practices are very much well up to date in order for us to have these measures as, again, enabling the business and not to show-stopping it.
Okay. Mr. AbdelElah, I know some cybersecurity officials complaining that CEO or other responsible officers in different organizations for not cooperating with the cybersecurity team. They are afraid that their system will be uncovered or their weakness in the system will be explored, or they found out it's a hackable system. Your system is a hackable system. As a CIO, do you feel reluctant to cooperate with the cybersecurity team?
On the contrary, I think this is the worst thing that anyone can do, because even at your house, you need to bring the security company to make sure that your house is secure and the locks are all good and you have the best alarm system and so on. So this is your house and you can apply this to your business. So I don't think anyone as a leader can encourage this or be against the cybersecurity team. Actually, I am the chair of the cybersecurity committee in the bank, although I'm not a cybersecurity expert, but because I am leading the business area of the bank, I'm chairing the security committee that has the cybersecurity expert, the technology people, the business people, all sitting in one table. And when I take decisions, I'll have to balance the decision between securing the bank and making sure that the business objectives are met. So by all means, I'm totally 100% pro and advocate towards cybersecurity, because again, this is the intimate risk that we have today. No one will come with a car, maybe in the States, I don't know, but no one will come with the car and go into a bank branch and try to break the vault and take the money. But people sitting somewhere in the world with a laptop can bring the bank down. And
with the IT officer in your bank have the same attitude?
Of course. So, I'll tell you, there are discussions, debates, conflicts, not conflict, but back and forth, because the IT person who wants to get his things done, and the security people will issue a report saying that you have this number of vulnerabilities and you need to close those vulnerabilities by this time, and this is a high risk and medium risk and low risk. So there is the conflict of trying to balance between things.
Okay, now they are waving, time's out, but we started a little bit late. There is an important point that, we have some entrepreneurs or future entrepreneurs here, and they need your advise?
Yeah, I think entrepreneurs, and going back to digitalization, I think we're doing brilliant in Kuwait, especially on the fintech area, and we have a lot of entrepreneurs who are coming with different concepts. MashaAllah, in Kuwait, everybody is trying to do his own business, whether it's in the food sector, whether it's in the technology sector, whether it's in financial services. So I encourage all of them to pursue their dreams. We are here to support. And again, like what we did, make the customer experience is your utmost goal, because this is where you will get your business. This is how you will get your revenues. Don't go after the revenues, go for your customer experience first and try to do something different. This is what we did in the bank. Again, banking has been there for hundreds of years, maybe thousands of years. How do you differentiate yourself and make sure that, or at least try to get move into your position in terms of size or market share and so on? You have to do something different. And this is the advice to all the entrepreneurs and the young people here. Try to do something different. Don't copy and paste everything that you see, and not necessarily that if someone is successful that you will be able to be successful like him. So try to do something different and make customer experience your utmost goal.
Dr. Meshari,
Absolutely what Mr. Abdullah.
what's your advice for
Actually,
our
absolutely.
students?
Absolutely what Mr. Abdullah just said. Just to confirm, a wise businessman once told me something. Said, entrepreneur, you don't have to come up with a new business. It's actually, but yet it's not a copy-paste. It's more of copying something, but innovative it. And that innovation makes actually all the difference. So you don't reinvent the wheel. You just go and see how this business is successful. How can I make it even more successful? And that is how innovation happens. It doesn't have to be complicated, inventing something new or a completely new idea. If you have something like that, excellent. But usually this is how things evolve in the business.
We will open up the floor. Please go ahead, Dr. Samir.
Showing the use of technology and cybersecurity in 3 different industries. I'm in healthcare with the expansion in the volume of data we're using these days. We are obligated or we're forced to migrate to the cloud and look for cloud solutions for almost everything. And I have 2 questions regarding the privacy. What's the difference between the privacy in cloud-based solution and regular or older digital platforms, and is it truly safer to be in the cloud? That's the first. The second is from vendor perspectives. Looking at contracts, I'm seeing a lot of restrictions from different vendors on the data privacy. And if you move from one vendor to the next, let's say from Google or Microsoft to AWS, you may lose your data, or they will at least have a copy of your data. So how we can tackle this, how we can approach those vendors when we migrate to the cloud.
The last question.
One and for first and
waiting.
last. Tamam. So I can feel your concerns and your anxiety. It always depends on the company itself that had made a decision. I always say let the business lead technology, not the way, vice versa. Not the technology leads the business. Everyone is going to cloud, let's go to cloud. Does my business require me going to cloud or لا? هذا number 1. So what does my business require? Then I can utilize the technology to serve it. Number 2, about your concerns on privacy, etc. Whether it was on your on-prem, whether it was on the cloud, you need to put the right security measures in order for you to secure it. I know that many of the cloud providers has been utilizing the word it's safer. However, we have seen many huge and giant cloud providers and accelerators have been breached and have been compromised. And compromise happens to everyone. Nobody is perfect. Yet, I believe there you should do some homework on different aspects. So the first thing you need to do is that you need to have partnership with the cloud provider. He needs to know which parts he needs to take ownership of on that security portions. And I need to be aware that there are issues and how actions I need to be owner of it. Because when compromise happens, and we've seen that a lot, the cloud provider says it was the customer who didn't do the right configuration. So where does the word or statement says it's safer on the cloud? So we need to be very much clear, not to abuse the word. We need to be very much aware what's on you, what's on me, and let's both work together efficiently to do that and make that statement a reality. The third thing about the contracts and the vendors aspects, you need to put, and I believe you should have a very good legal team with a cyber understanding language, because we know that many of the legal teams haven't upgraded their understanding yet, but you need to have that. In order for them to put in these contracts or clauses, two things. First, that you need to ensure that these data are not being, residing whenever you move or migrate to a different platform. Second thing is about the, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Yes, the exit strategy. You need also to secure the exit strategy, because for some reason or another, that is totally out of your control, because of the country, because of the relation, geopolitical, whatever. You might need to remove or to move your data representative from that country to another. So you need to put that in the clauses that you have a clear exit strategy and with no cost. That you need the negotiations for that from your contract groups. I hope I answered your question.
Okay, this is an extremely important topic, and I think it needs more time to be covered appropriately. But I see the organizers are coming back and forth for me. I would like to thank you all for coming and joining us, and to thank our wonderful speakers. It was very fruitful. Thank you very much. And
شكرا.
we'll meet إن شاء الله.
Thank you, Doctor.
شكرا جزيلا.
صورة. يلا.
طيب.
تفضل.
يلا أجي هنا. طيب، هذه الأشياء اللي